As I have been thinking through different possible interpretations of the Dema lore, and just listening through 21 Pilots' discography, there's one song in particular to which I often return, Bandito. It is also a song which the band itself has been returning to quite often during the Clancy era, both in the song Overcompensate and during the live performances of Paladin Strait. Sure, neither of these instances contain the song in its entirety, but they do sample key parts, and it is clearly a deliberate callback. And as I think through those questions which are still unanswered after the release of the Paladin Strait music video, I often return to Bandito. There's a chance that a song which is so clearly important to the storyline of Dema could contain answers, or at the very least point us in the direction of clarity. I have discussed time and again the idea that there is a clear theme of duality throughout 21 Pilots' work, not only when it comes to understanding the meaning behind their songs, but also within the world of Trench itself. For instance, there is a clear duality of Tyler between Blurryface and Clancy, the two faces referenced again and again, a warring duality. But what if there was another, more subtle duality? The difference between Tyler as Clancy and Tyler as a Bandito. Up until this point, I've been thinking of Clancy as one of the Banditos. More specifically, perhaps their leader, but one of them nonetheless. But Clancy is, in many ways, different from the Banditos as they were first presented in Trench. They specifically wear yellow. He wears red. Also, perhaps more explicitly, Tyler clearly identifies himself as a Bandito in Trench, in the song Bandito. I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a Bandito. But then, at the start of this new era, he tells us, I am Clancy. So if we go back and look through this story as an entirety, we see three identifiers, if you will. My name's Blurryface, I'm a Bandito, and I am Clancy. It also seems like Tyler, as a character in Trench, or perhaps even in real life, uses this concept of dualities as a way to categorize and deal with different parts of him that either need to be studied and examined further or destroyed. A sort of coping mechanism, if you will. So, with this context in mind, let us return to those lyrics from Bandito, because within them we find yet another duality. I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a Bandito. On the one hand, he could take the high road. On the other, he could go below, and that is the path which he must take as a Bandito. And then, later in the song, we hear him explain, I created this world to feel some control. Destroy it if I want. Here is where I believe the duality between Clancy and the Bandito comes into play. Clancy represents the creator of the world of Trench and Dema. Just like the bishops, he seeks a sense of control, which is why he too wears red, in contrast to the other Banditos. The Bandito, however, is prepared to destroy Dema. And so, when we take all of this and put it into the context of Paladin Strait and the end of the story, I think we may have been given a clue. A part of the missing pieces between the end of the Paladin Strait music video and the images of a city on fire in the digital remains. Sort of in the style of something like The Prestige, if you've seen that film, there are two versions of Clancy. How this happens, I'm not fully sure. Perhaps through the power of seizing. Perhaps through the power which Josh's character possesses, and which I'm not sure we've seen fully realized yet. Or perhaps through some form of time travel. We certainly see, or rather hear, all sorts of shifts and reversals in the flow of time throughout Trench, including in the song Bandito, which parts of the song play backwards. In any case, one version of Clancy takes the high road, climbing the tower and confronting the bishops face to face. The other version, the Bandito, takes the low road, traveling through the tunnels beneath the city of Dema and setting fire to its foundations, while Clancy creates a diversion. We might even have been given a brief glimpse of this during the level of concern scavenger hunt. We see a clip of a figure walking through the same tunnels that Clancy runs through during the Paladin Strait music video. But this figure is walking calmly, something which we don't see pictured anywhere in that music video. Now, perhaps this theory is largely baseless. I'm sure we'll find out at some point when the story does end. But, for now, I think it is at least an interesting theory and not fully without support. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to comment your own thoughts on this below. And don't forget to subscribe for more music commentary and reviews.